You know, that kind of move that starts almost invisibly, away from the spotlight, quietly happening in the background. But little by little it starts growing, gaining strength, until it becomes something huge. Well, that is exactly what is happening right now at Newcastle United. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that the atmosphere behind the scenes at St. James Park is more intense than ever. Something very different is going on. The kind of movement that makes every sharp-eyed fan wonder, what on earth is about to happen here? And to be honest, anyone who has been following the behind the scenes at our beloved Newcastle has probably noticed the signs: suspicious looks in the corridors, closed-door meetings, phone calls at odd hours, and a strange tension in the air that is impossible to ignore. You can literally feel that something massive is unfolding. And believe me, this is not just any ordinary negotiation. This is the kind of move that, if it happens, could completely change the course of our season and maybe even our future in the coming years. By the way, if you are a die-hard Magpies fan who always wants to stay one step ahead, do me a favor now, hit that subscribe button. That is the best way to make sure you do not miss any updates, any behind-the-scenes news, or anything that is going on with our Newcastle United. Plus, your support helps this channel keep growing and bringing you top-class information straight from the best sources, including the Telegraph, which is exactly where today's information comes from. And trust me, it is no exaggeration to say that this move behind the scenes is catching absolutely everyone by surprise. Journalists, fans, insiders, and even rival clubs are all keeping a close eye on what is unfolding, trying to figure out Newcastle's next steps. And do not think for a second that this is just your typical transfer rumor. Far from it. What is being prepared behind the scenes is bold, ambitious, and sends a very clear message about the club's intentions for this upcoming season, not only in the Premier League but also in the Champions League. Yes, Newcastle fans. According to the Telegraph, Eddie Howe has made it crystal clear that one of his top priorities in this transfer window is to sign a young African centre-back who has been attracting attention from across Europe, Ousmane Diomande, currently playing for Sporting CP in Portugal. And let me tell you, we are not talking about just any defender. We are talking about an absolute phenomenon. At just 21 years old, he is already considered one of the most promising defensive talents in European football. Newcastle's interest in Diomande did not come out of nowhere. For months now, the club's board has been closely monitoring his performances for Sporting. Physically strong, extremely quick, technically gifted, and with an impressive reading of the game for someone his age. The Ivorian centre-back ticks every single box that Newcastle are looking for to strengthen the defensive line. And let's be honest, fans, if there is one area that desperately needs reinforcing, especially thinking about the Champions League, it is the defense. By the way, since we are talking about it, if you are enjoying this kind of update and want to stay on top of all the hottest Newcastle news, take a second right now and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow and guarantees that you will always get first-hand information about everything happening behind the scenes. And of course, do not forget to turn on notifications, because things could escalate fast with this negotiation, and you definitely will not want to miss it. Back to the main story. According to the Telegraph, Newcastle are fully aware this will not be an easy deal to pull off. Sporting have slapped a hefty price tag on the player. We are talking about £67 million. Yes, it is a big one, folks. But even with that, Newcastle's board seem willing to go strong in this race because they see Diomande not just as a signing for now but as a long-term investment, someone who could become a key player for many seasons to come. And to be fair, it makes total sense, does it not? If you really look closely, it is clear that Newcastle's current project is built for the long term. The goal is to establish the club among the Premier League elite, regularly secure Champions League football and, of course, start competing for major trophies. And to achieve that, it is vital to build not only a strong squad but a young one full of players who can grow within the club and develop alongside the project. And that is exactly what Diomande represents. In fact, when you take a proper look at his profile, it becomes crystal clear why he is so highly rated. Beyond his physicality and speed, Diomande stands out for his composure and quality when playing out from the back. He is that modern kind of centre-back, not just a stopper but someone who is brilliant at passing, breaking lines, and helping build attacks straight from the defensive third. And in a league as intense as the Premier League, that is absolutely crucial. But there is a key point here. Newcastle are not alone in this race. Several other European giants have their eyes on the Ivorian defender because they know just how special his potential is. Clubs from England, Spain, and even Germany are monitoring his situation, waiting for the right opportunity to jump in. That is why Newcastle know they need to move quickly and, more importantly, present a project that convinces the player he will have the chance to be a starter, a key figure, and a part of something huge here at St. James Park. And honestly, Newcastle have plenty of arguments in their favor. The club's growth in recent years has been undeniable, both on and off the pitch. Securing Champions League football and lifting a domestic trophy are clear signs that this project is moving in the right direction. And for young players especially, that weighs heavily when deciding where to take the next step in their careers. Diomande is definitely looking at all of this very carefully. Now the big question is, Will Newcastle actually manage to pull this off? Will the board agree to meet Sporting's £67 million asking price? Or will they try to negotiate, lower that fee, and find a deal that works for everyone? The truth is, talks are already underway behind the scenes, and there is a growing sense of cautious optimism that an agreement could genuinely be reached. By the way, if you want to stay on top of every single update about this saga, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button right now. That way you will be the first to know about any developments in this deal, as well as all the latest moves Newcastle are making in the transfer market. And believe me, there is a lot going on. The board are working hard, scouting names not only for defense but also for the attack. In fact, I have got another potential signing to tell you about very soon, so stay tuned. Back to Diomande. One big advantage Newcastle have in this negotiation is the presence of a young, talented squad full of players who are already key figures and who can help the Ivorian settle in quickly. Players like Sven Botman, who is still young but already a rock at the back, create the perfect environment for someone like Diomande to thrive, develop, and who knows become one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League in the coming years. And that is not all. Newcastle are also seriously looking at another potential signing, Brazilian forward João Pedro, currently at Brighton. According to the Telegraph, the club are monitoring his situation closely. He is coming off a fantastic season and could be a perfect addition to strengthen the attacking line. In other words, it is not just the defense being reinforced. The goal is to strengthen every area of the squad to make next season even more successful. So, Newcastle fans, get ready, because the next few days are going to be absolutely buzzing behind the scenes at St. James's Park. The board knows exactly where the squad needs reinforcements, and talks with Sporting for Diomande are only just getting started. Now it is a matter of watching how it all unfolds, whether Sporting will soften their demands, and whether Newcastle can put forward a proposal that satisfies everyone involved. That is why you should definitely leave a like on this video, share it with fellow magpies who, just like you, are passionate about this club and want to stay fully informed about everything that is happening. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Here you will always get the hottest news, straight from the best sources like the Telegraph, and you will be the first to hear about anything that could directly shape the future of our beloved Newcastle United. So do not waste any time. Hit that subscribe button and come along for every single twist and turn of this story, because trust me, this is going to be huge.